When it comes to conservation, China has in recent years become Africa's largest and most important conservation partner. CGTN's Robert Nagila brings us more on how China ensures that wildlife thrives by providing financial and technical support to various African countries.
Arguably, one of China's biggest sports personalities, retired professional basketball player Yao Ming, is just as big on animal conservation.
If there's no demand, poacher will be not necessary.
Ming's conservation efforts amplify that of his country, China. In recent years, China has stepped up its conservation efforts through biodiversity. Over the past 4 years, the country, in collaboration with the African Wildlife Foundation, has provided support and technical know-how to governments and institutions to ensure conservation is part of economic development.
A big part of our work on the continent lies in 3 areas on wildlife. We stop the killing of wildlife with a number of projects on the field. We do stop the trafficking of wildlife across the continent, but also we stop the demand. So the engagement of China lies on those 3 areas.
So much so that China is now one of Africa's largest conservation partners, promoting sustainable development in line with achieving the African Union's Agenda 2063.
China is becoming very, very important to our mission.
Experts say Africa can learn from China's past experiences. Take Shanghai, for example. Despite having world-class infrastructure, the city has poured millions of dollars to develop its ecological surroundings. On weekends and holidays, thousands of visitors pour into the Shanghai Zoo, home to more than 6,000 animals, from the giant panda to different species of butterflies. Over 100,000 trees with nearly 600 plant species are planted here.
They've cut down more than 50% of pollution from coal. How have they done it so quickly? What policies have they adopted? How have they involved the private sector? What measures have they taken? So there are lessons, because China is doing right now a very, very good job in cleaning up. They've reforested a lot of the areas that were affected by deforestation in China.
And the country has led by example. In 2017, China shut down its domestic ivory market and banned commercial processing of rhino horns and tiger bones. It's also tightened legislation on trade in endangered fauna and flora. To date, it continues to provide funds, equipment, manpower and technology to support African countries in the conservation of endangered species and habitats. Robert Nagila, CGTN, Nairobi, Kenya.